welcome to my today's live. I am doing this live because I've had a lot of people sending me some DMs asking me about the new opportunities that they've seen flying around on YouTube. Apparently, I watched one of the videos which was uploaded today, which also talks of these wonderful opportunities that the UK government has actually presented for people who are in the UK as well as those who are overseas. Because I've received a lot of DMs, people asking me about this new opportunity or about these new opportunities, because according to what I was listening to today, this video was uploaded earlier on today, these opportunities actually don't require you to have IELTS for you to be able to come to UK. You don't require to have IELTS. You don't require to have any qualifications. You can just apply for this opportunity and then you can come and work in the UK NHS as a support worker. These jobs are actually for support workers. And as you all know, guys, when it comes to opportunities here in UK, I basically prefer to keep things real. Like, I like to tell you the reality which is here on the ground here in the UK, because I don't like to give you false hope. Let me say, I don't like to give you false hope. I'll just put it that way. If you can hear me, guys, do say good evening to me, so that I can hear that you're hearing me, so that I am not talking to myself. And I'll ask you that as you come in, as a lot of people are interested in relocating to overseas, you may share this video with them so that they actually come and understand the reality on the ground here in the UK. Good evening, Wendy. Good evening, Panashe, Sylvester, Busisiwe, Maria, VIPU. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Good afternoon, good evening, Marcia, Charity. And as you go in or as you come in, you can tell me where you are watching me from. Are you in Zimbabwe? Are you in South Africa? Are you in Nigeria? Where are you? I'm greeting you from Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland, or Northern Ireland in United Kingdom. How are you? Zambia, Manchester, I see you. Southampton. How are you guys? Nigeria, thank you so much for joining me, guys. So as you all know, guys, it has been flying all over YouTube that the NHS is actually now hiring from overseas, and they are offering free visa sponsorship. And apparently, you do not need to have IELTS for you to be able to relocate to the UK. But I am sorry, because I'm going to burst your bubble, because I like keeping things real. So if you look at what has been happening in the United Kingdom, I'm sure you've seen a few videos that have come and posted previously, indicating to you that the UK NHS is currently not hiring from overseas. Why? Because one, they said they are running short of funds. They do not have funds to hire from overseas. They are failing even to hire even within the UK, because they are what? They do not have the funds to be hiring within the UK or even from overseas. A lot of nurses who are coming from Poland to UK were automatically hired by the NHS, right? And offered visa sponsorship and everything. But at the present moment, even those nurses who are in Poland, they are struggling to actually get jobs here within the NHS, because the NHS has actually said to them that they cannot hire them from overseas because of what? Because of funds. So now, when we talk of apprenticeship programs, guys, if you're looking at the NHS, what is an apprenticeship program? An apprenticeship program is whereby you come, you are hired whether from overseas or within the UK. Overseas is not possible. I'll explain to you why overseas is not possible, and I'll explain to you why I am saying overseas is not possible. So when you are doing apprenticeship jobs here in the UK, what happens is there is on the job training, and when you are on the job training, you'll be paid as you are working. So, for example, let's say, I'm sure you have heard me say, oh, when children qualify here, they can either choose to go to university or do apprenticeship. And when you are doing apprenticeship here within the UK, the salary that you get is obviously not going to be at par with the salary that let's say maybe a band 3 qualified person is going to get, or a band 4 qualified person is going to get. You'll be getting something like a minimum wage, which means you're going to be getting something to get by. So what happens is, when they say, because I was listening to a video today, say, oh, you don't need to have IELTS. When you are relocating to UK to come and work, wherever you are going to work, guys, wherever you are going to work, when you come to UK, you always need to have IELTS, at least a band score of 4. So even if someone says no IELTS, no what, you have to understand that the UK government does not offer you a visa without IELTS. For you to be eligible to get a visa within the UK, you need to have IELTS, a band score of 4 in all categories. So if you don't have IELTS, a band score of 4, you cannot get a visa to come to UK, which means if they're saying you are going to get visa sponsorship to come to UK without IELTS, it's a what? A green light. I am sorry to say. I don't like to appear as if I am going against my fellow YouTubers or anything of that sort, but I prefer to tell you the reality on the ground so that you don't get your hopes high, so that you don't spend your money trying to do this, trying to do that, so that you apply for jobs where I obviously know that you're not going to benefit. Why am I saying that I obviously know that you're not going to benefit? Is because as you come here to UK, there's something, I did a video yesterday, an AI video which I did yesterday, where I said the NHS, it's not only the nurses, they are being driven, the nurses are being driven to poverty, the carers are being driven to poverty. Why? Because of no recourse to public fund. So if the UK government says they are offering apprenticeship jobs and you're not going to pay for level 3 because it's level 3 apprenticeship job, you are not going to pay for level 3 apprenticeship job. It means it is the government which is going to pay for that level 3 apprenticeship job. And if it's the government which is paying for that level 3 apprenticeship job, it means that you are accessing what? The government funds. And you as an overseas worker, when you come to UK, if you are given a BRP, it is clearly written that no recourse to public funds. So if you're going to be applying for apprenticeship jobs within the NHS, which funds are going to be used by the government to facilitate the program for you? You have to ask yourself that question before you go and apply for the apprenticeship jobs. Secondly, if you are to be granted a visa for you to come to the United Kingdom, there's a salary threshold that you have to meet if you are coming to work in UK. That's one. And if you are coming to UK to maybe as a student, let's say you're coming to UK as a student, if you're not meeting a salary threshold, there are funds, proof of funds that you need to provide to the government. And it means that when we are talking of a salary threshold that you want to come and work as a carer, if you come under the apprenticeship program within the UK, are you going to be able to meet the salary threshold, which is required by the government of UK, which is required by the Home Office? Obviously, you're not going to meet the salary threshold. Understand, guys? And if you're coming from overseas, they tell you that they need you to have what? At least a qualification. So if we are saying, oh, come to UK, you don't need to have a qualification, you don't need to have IELTS, you are going to be working for free, I am sorry to say that it's not the reality on the ground. It is not the truth, because apprenticeship program, it's a public fund. They are publicly funded by the government. You understand? So if you have any questions as I'm talking, may you kindly throw them in the comment section, whether it's related to this topic that I'm talking about or anything related to UK. I will gladly answer your questions. And as you come into this live, may you kindly like this video. So when it comes to apprenticeship programs, guys, I think I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's specifically for people who are in the United Kingdom. And if you look, I was listening to today, one of the YouTubers was actually saying there are 4,000 vacancies across all NHS hospitals. And we want to actually see 4,000 vacancies is a lot. 4,000 vacancies, it cannot cover Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, and so forth and so on, because we've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are qualified to want to come and work in the UK as care workers, the senior care workers, as support workers, and so forth and so on. But the reality on the ground is that it is very difficult in this day and age for you to be able to penetrate the NHS. Not even if you are a nurse, it's very difficult to penetrate the NHS. Does it mean that you cannot apply to the NHS? You can apply for any other job which is offering visa sponsorship within the NHS. But for apprenticeship jobs, guys, I don't want to lie to you. It's a public fund and you have no recourse to public fund. When they say there is no need for IELTS, they specifically tell you that you need to have GCSE or equivalent GCSE, which means if you have recently qualified here in the UK and you've got GCSE or something like that, you can automatically apply for apprenticeship jobs. Just like people who finish their A levels and so forth, they can apply for any, whether it's IT apprenticeship, whether it's what, they can apply for any apprenticeship, and it's going to be funded by the UK government. Or if you're applying to a company, that particular company is going to be paying for you. So apprenticeship programs are specifically, I will repeat that, for people within the UK. I went through the application form, and as you go through the application form, you see that there comes a point in time where they ask you, do you have the right to work in the UK? Because it's not specifically for people who are just coming from school. Even those who are within the UK, you've got a right. If you're a citizen, you have a right to work in the UK. And tell you what, you can go ahead and apply. But what the NHS does is, when they are asking you that you have a right to work in the UK, it's a way of them to screen you. They are screening the individuals as they are coming in. And automatically, if they screen you and you ought say you have no right to work in the UK, explain you need sponsorship, automatically, they what? They put your application aside. You understand? They'll put your application aside and they'll only select the few individuals who meet the eligibility criteria, which also, in the eligibility criteria, which also covers the right to work in the UK. That's why they say you do not need IELTS. Understand? Coming from overseas, whether dark or blue or green or orange or maroon or whatever color, you definitely need IELTS for you to be able to get a visa. You understand? So if they are currently saying that they are failing to hire general care workers, they are failing to hire general nurses from overseas because they don't have funds, because it's expensive to hire from overseas. So do you think that they can, after saying that, they can now then hire you from overseas, not only pay for the recruitment fees and everything for you, after paying the recruitment fees and everything for you, bring you here to UK and also pay for your NVQ3, because NVQ2, NVQ3 is expensive. Are they that rich? Like, if you think logically, does it make sense to you guys? Like, if you're thinking logically, we don't have money to hire you from overseas, but no, don't worry, we'll hire you from overseas and we'll also pay for your fees to do a course here in UK. Some of these things we have to just think logically, like before we, Anyway, before I move on, there are some questions. I have to go through these questions. Guys, these days I'm not coming for live because my throat is not throating. I don't know what is happening. I've been having a chest infection or whatever you call it, a throat, I don't even know what to call it. Started as COVID and whatever. But up to now, it's been over a month and I still haven't healed completely. I still have, I don't know what will be happening in my throat. And I hate to be talking to you and coughing in your faces in case I infect you with whatever I have. That's why I'm not coming on live. That's why I'm missing in action, because I've had a lot of people saying, why am I missing in action? My throat is not throating. Someone bewitched my throat. Watching from Liberia. Good afternoon. Good evening, Chacha. Now I'm just looking at the few questions. I have overall band score of 7. Mama, so if you are looking for a care job, apply whether directly to the NHS or to any care home, because but don't apply for apprenticeship program, because apprenticeship programs are specifically for people within the UK. I'm sorry to say that. Patricia K says, so true. There are 2 types of IELTS: IELTS academics or general, and IELTS for UKVI. So at least IELTS UKVI someone must have. That is a fact. If you are coming from overseas, there is IELTS UKVI. Dark or blue, you need to have IELTS UKVI, because it's IELTS for UK visas. So they cannot recruit you. They cannot recruit you from overseas without that IELTS band score or for UKVI. So take note of that, guys. And if you see anyone saying you can come from overseas without IELTS, it's not true. IELTS is mandatory for a visa. It is mandatory. Dark or blue. Thank you, Popo. It's my dream to go to UK. Eddie, what I can tell you is that if you have a dream, you don't give up on your dream. You push until you realize your dream. They say hard work and determination is what gets a man or a woman what he wants. So if you really want to come to UK, you don't give up, because it's not the only avenue. Apprenticeship is not the only avenue that enables you to come to UK. For now, things are not looking as good as they were, because the government does not have money, like the care homes don't have money to have from overseas. The reason why the government is actually offering apprenticeship program is because they clearly, and it's not like it's the first time, guys, that they are offering apprenticeship program. Every September, because it's more like all the colleges, universities, colleges, and so forth, they start their intake in September, and every September they offer apprenticeship program in that particular field. If you have been following me, I'm sure you noted that I once posted a video. About care assistants working in the NHS and what they do in the NHS, and how you progress to doing apprenticeship, and how you can eventually progress to becoming a nurse, and so forth and so on. These apprenticeship programs, they've been there from time immemorial, and every September they open the apprenticeship programs. If you look currently, there's apprenticeship for band 2, there's apprenticeship for band 3, there's apprenticeship for band 4. You can do your NVQ2. There are different courses that you can actually do within the NHS. And if you watch that video, which I did a few months ago, where the care assistants who work in the NHS are actually talking about this program, you can actually see how you can progress from being a carer to doing an apprenticeship program, because it's actually broken down in that video. But you have to have the right to work within the UK. They will not hire you from overseas with no qualifications to come and train you here in the UK, when they've got their own people here within the UK. And all those 4,000 vacancies that they currently have for apprenticeship, they are going to be taken by people who are within the UK, because it's 4,000 vacancies for England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And how many people are in UK? How many people are looking for care jobs within the UK? You understand, guys? And when they say they want to to grow local talent, them having apprenticeship programs where they are going to be paying them and teaching them on the job, it's a way of encouraging people to actually take up these jobs. You know that we've talked about this issue that they want people to come from within the UK, growing local talent. That's what apprenticeship programs are specifically for. Leslie says, I thought as much. Was watching one YouTuber yesterday, and I said, no, it's good to be true So, Sis Popo, what about if you are in UK on visitor's visa? Can you apply? If you are in UK and you're on visitor's visa, unfortunately, you cannot apply because the visitor's visa actually restricts you. You are a visitor. You are just here to visit. You can come and visit me. You can explore Northern Ireland, explore UK and so forth, or just visit your relatives. It does not permit you to start doing any other jobs like a apprenticeship program and so forth, because they will ask you, do you have the right to work within the UK? If you don't have the right to work within the UK, then it's just a visitor's visa. You don't have a right to work within the UK or the right to be in the UK. So you're not going to be able to do an apprenticeship program. Can someone overstay on visa and continue work with no visa? Will NHS know? If you have a visa, I don't know whether when you're asking that, will NHS know, does it mean that you'll be working for NHS or what? But what I can tell you is that before you are employed by any organization here in the UK, they do a history on you. They check they need to check your TPS and everything. So if you are now illegal in the UK, you have overstayed in the UK, it will automatically come up that you have overstayed in the UK because they are looking at your details and everything. And if you have overstayed in the UK, because when you go and work in the NHS, they want to apply for a let's say you want a visa sponsorship and they want to apply for a visa for you and so forth and so on. It will be obvious that you've actually what? You've actually overstayed and they will not employ you. In fact, they will just call the police on you and you get deported ASAP. Can someone, okay, you cannot overstay. So those with COS are not eligible for this program then. If you are on COS, what happens is, the difference is there are some companies, because I've seen there are some companies which are personal companies, let's say, which are not government companies. Let's say I have my own company and I want to hire you. If it's my own personal company and I don't have public funds from the government, you can actually do apprenticeship even if you are on visa sponsorship, right? That's why some of our children, even their nurses and so forth, who are on visa sponsorship, and their children have gone ahead to do apprenticeship programs. But when they are doing those apprenticeship programs, is for example, it's an IT company, it's an engineering company, it's an accountancy company, which is actually funding that program. If they are using their money, they are not using public funds, they are not using the government fund of anything or anything of that sort. But the National Health Service is a government hospital, you understand? So if it is a government hospital, if you are on COS and you are accessing those funds, which means you are accessing public funds. And when it comes to a point when you're now applying for a visa, have you used public funds? You would have used a public fund, and having used those public funds, they will not grant you your indefinite leave to remain. Or if they don't grant you an indefinite leave to remain, they'll find out how much of the funds you used. If you use £10,000 of the government funds, you have to pay back all the £10,000 of the government fund, and then after paying back those other £10,000, you can then now apply for indefinite leave to remain. So if you are on a COS and it's the government that you're applying to, you cannot what? You cannot apply for an apprenticeship program because it is a public fund by the government of the United Kingdom. It's not a private company which can offer you their money for free. Excuse me, I'm sorry. How about COS? Is Home Office still issuing? The Home Office is still issuing the certificate of sponsorship. But because you know that there has been a lot of, the fracas which has been going on in UK and so forth and so on. So because of the fracas that has been going on and that many companies are being investigated and so forth and so on. All right, people always say I shouldn't say and so forth. No. So many companies are being investigated. And after their investigations, if the company is clear, they issue the certificate of sponsorship. There are people who are still coming from overseas via the certificate of sponsorship. However, the issuing of certificate of sponsorship, if they compare last year and this year, there's been a drop by a massive 80% all around. Nurses and carers and so forth are no longer interested in coming to UK because of the stricter measures which have been implemented. The stricter measures whereby you are not allowed to bring in your dependents from overseas. So that's why the issuing of certificates of sponsorship has gone down. Why? Because people are no longer applying as well, because most people say, how can I come to UK if I'm not going to be able to be with my family? You understand? Do UK have catfish and fufu? I need my food. I don't want the fish and chips. Okay, Eddie, yesterday I was eating eforiro with pounded yam. And that eforiro had catfish and what you call this? And hard chicken, which I call chicken makaya here. So if you are Nigerian, if you are Ghanaian, there is a supermarket for that. And the food is delicious, guys. Nigerian food is good. My son was just eating, and I just had him stop in between. I was eating pounded yam, eforiro, and all those meats. No, Nigerians, they eat the meats, and I was like, I think I need to marry a Nigerian woman. Talking to himself, I think I need to marry a Nigerian woman because this food is so good. So I know Nigerians, I know Ghanaians, they really fuss about their food. You don't need to worry about that. Come to UK, you find everything that you need from Nigeria, whether it's opono, whether it's draw soup, whether it's everything is there. Everything is there, and Nigerian food is good. So good, guys. Philip says, effectively, this does not apply to overseas candidates as the non-clinical jobs with COS available at the NHS for overseas people. We rather move to our jobs or countries with opportunities. I agree with you, Maria Velapitube. I'm sorry, guys. My throat is not throating. All these jobs, I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm here to say it again because I received a lot of emails. I hadn't realized that people were asking, because I've not been watching YouTube videos anyway, to be frank with you. I've not been watching, I've just been relaxing, chilling. When you are not well, you just have to have been chilling. So when I realized that a lot of people have been asking like this question, that this is going around, this is going around, this is going around. Fortunately, because I was lazy to watch YouTube videos, one of the YouTubers uploaded a video today, and I happened to be on the internet while this uploaded, and then I automatically went and listened to that video, and then I realized that this is what has been going around, this is what people are talking about. But just to come and clear the air so that you know the reality on the ground, it is not for you who is overseas. Guys, I don't know. The most important thing that you can do is go and do your own research. But I can tell you that it's not for you who is overseas. As long as it's apprenticeship, non-clinical, and so forth, it's not for you. It's for people who are here within the UK. That's why they don't need IELTS for you to apply for this, guys. Michael, I promised to do some videos on Australia and Denmark and so forth, but the reality on the ground is that I've not been well. I'm much better now because what has been happening is I've been coughing you can hear that as I go through. My throat fills up with, I'll be frank, it's mucus, fills up with mucus. So I've been coughing a lot, and that actually disturbs me when I am doing videos. That's why I've taken a very, very long break, because I'm not able to make videos when I'm coughing. And after I do this video, I can guarantee you tomorrow morning I'll not be having a voice, because I've talked a lot, you understand? So when I talk a lot, that's why what I'm going to do is I'll make AI videos, just like the ones that I did yesterday and today. I know people are not a fan of those videos, but that's the best thing that I can do for now, because it's pointless for me to do videos, right, and then not be able to talk tomorrow. As you can see that my thought is just not giving the talking vibes. The last live that I did last week, after the live, my voice was totally gone for days. And I can guarantee you that by tomorrow morning, because of all this talking, my voice is going to be gone. So what I'm going to do is, for those who are interested, because I know a lot of people are not interested in AI videos, for all those jobs, Australia, Denmark, and so forth, I'll do the AI videos, and you can get the information from there to make life easier for my throat as well, and make life easier for me. You understand? What other countries can we look at besides UK? There have been changing requirements to enter UK. Just like I said, I will just come and share other countries with you guys, because it's not only the UK with greener pastures. Besides, the UK no longer has greener pastures. That's the reality on the ground. The pastures here in the UK are currently brown. They are not green. They are still there, but they are now brown. You know, when they are now burning and they are turning brown, the pastures here in UK are actually turning brown. That's the reality on the ground. I spoke to you sometime in 2022 from Botswana. By the grace of the Lord, I'm now in UK with Care Home through your guidance. God bless you. Congratulations, Fena. 2022 is a long time. Congratulations. I'm glad you managed to get a job here in UK, and I'm glad you managed to chase your dream and not give up on your dream, because I've seen people they easily give up on your dreams. Guys, do not give up on your dream. If your dream is United Kingdom, keep on pushing so that you come to UK. But what I can tell you is that the greener pastures are not only in the United Kingdom. There are so many other European countries which are actually hiring from overseas, and they are offering you visa sponsorship. And I hope you don't mind. I'm going to do AI videos. I know people shun them, people don't like watching them, but it's for the sake of sharing information with you. So I'll share AI videos with you, which actually for countries which can offer you jobs with a visa sponsorship. And guys, I'm sorry. And guys, so I'm rounding off this video. All I wanted to talk about is these apprenticeship jobs, because a lot of people have been coming to my DM. A lot of people have been asking me to draft CVs. I didn't realize it. After that, that's when I had to go through my emails. People have been asking me to draft CVs so that they send in their applications, because apparently there's a September deadline. End of September, they'll close the applications, and a lot of people actually want their CVs drafted so that they actually apply for this specific job, so that they come and work within the NHS. I'm sorry to say, guys, I just don't like say, oh, I'll draft your CV, you go and apply, when I fully know that if you go and apply, the moment you write that you have no right to work in UK, your CV is going to be taken aside. Why would I let you go ahead and do that when I fully know that you are not going to get a job here within the UK? When I fully know that the UK cannot hire you from overseas without IELTS? When I fully know that the UK does not have funds to be hiring carers from overseas to come here and work within the NHS? When I fully know that the government does not have funds for nurses to come from overseas, it would be unfair of me to actually do that, guys. Understand? So that's why I decided that, since a lot of people are asking, let me just come and do this short video, and you can share it with those who are interested in locating to overseas, and then that's the reality on the ground. All right, someone is saying, please like the video. Yes, may you kindly like this video if you find the information that I shared with you helpful, and may you kindly like this video just for the sake of me coming out live here and sharing this information with you, because I know this information is going to help 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people. And I always say, as long as this information helps at least one person, I am happy with the information helping at least one individual. Because personally, you know me from the word go, I like keeping things real, and I like telling you the reality on the ground. I don't take things at face value. So you also should not take things at face value. Before you do anything, before you apply anything, you just have to You just have to do your research. Just a quick question, please. Is the NHS still hiring overseas qualified nurses? That's where the issue is. The NHS currently, they have stopped hiring from overseas. until it's a certain point in time. They've actually been told to stop hiring from overseas. That's why you find that people are getting rejections from NHS left, right, and center. Some people who are in red list countries, they're being told that you are in red list country. The NHS does not hire from red list country. If you listen to the live that I did a couple of weeks ago, they said the government does not have funds to be hiring from overseas. That's why I am also talking of this issue that they don't have funds to hire nurses. What are the odds of the government now hiring you out there overseas who doesn't have IELTS, who doesn't have qualification, to come and train you so that you gain a qualification? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm saying that the government does not have funds. They'll come. There's 40,000 pounds, not 40,000 pounds, 40,000 vacancies for nurses who are overseas. So at the present moment, let us wait for the budget, because the budget is coming out anytime soon. I don't know whether it's in October, September, October. They're going to be telling us about the budget and so forth and so on. And they're going to give the budget to the NHS. And after giving the budget to the NHS, that's when you know that they'll start hiring from overseas and so forth and so on. Because the government is going to what? Disseminate funds and so forth, and we are going to give 18 million to the NHS. We're going to give, at the present moment, they are focusing on growing homegrown talent. That's why that's why they are taking funds just to facilitate having homegrown talent. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, when he came in, he said it specifically, and he was quite clear that their main objective is to try as much as possible to grow home talent. So these apprenticeship programs are to grow home talent here within the United Kingdom. You understand? So that they don't spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds trying to hire people from overseas. So instead of spending, because for one person to come from overseas, the government spends up to £7,000. So instead of spending £7,000 hiring just one person from overseas, they'll rather take that £7,000 and have 7 people or 5 people doing apprenticeship programs here within the UK, so that they just absorb them into the system without spending a ridiculous sums of money, because £7,000 per one individual, £8,000 per one individual is a lot of money. You understand? Because as you come from overseas, if it's the NHS, they pay for your flight tickets, they pay for your visa, they pay for your first 3 months of accommodation, which is a lot of money. So they don't have that money to be paying for people who are overseas just to come and study. They don't have money for people to come and work. So imagine, will they have money to pay you from overseas 7,000 to come and pay for you so that you study here in UK? It's impossible. Please do a research on which universities are offering master's degrees for nurses, or how do you apply. Okay, thank you very much, Popo, for your response. Much appreciated. So guys, I am going to work in a few minutes time. What time is it? I'm leaving home at 7 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock. I am leaving home in a few minutes time. I just wanted to respond to all those DMs and inboxes and emails that I've received with regards to the new apprenticeship program, which is supposedly hiring from overseas with no IELTS. It's nothing like that. It's for people here within the United Kingdom. I am sorry if it's not good news to your ears, but most of the time, even if it's not good news, I prefer that you hear the reality, you hear the truth, so that when you're making a decision, you make an informed decision. So if you don't have any questions, I'll just give you a couple of minutes. If you've got any questions to ask, you ask those questions. I'll just go through and see if there are any questions that I did not attend to. Otherwise, may you kindly share this live video. I'm sorry guys, going forward, yes, I'll come on live or 2 videos here and there if my throat permits, but I'll be posting more of AI videos. I know you don't like them, but you get used to them. I'm sorry. All right. Someone said, please hit the like. She's doing a great job amid the coughing. Yes, guys, I'm coughing and I'm talking. Please do smash the like button for me coming on live while I'm coughing. All right. Can a student in the UK whose visa is expiring soon apply? If you are your visa is is expiring soon, you are better off applying for a visa sponsorship job within the UK, because apprenticeship program is not a visa sponsorship job. It is just an apprenticeship program for those people, because the moment your visa expires, it means you have no right to work within the UK. Apprenticeship programs are specifically for those who have the right to work in the UK and are UK citizens, to be precise. So if you're not a UK citizen, then this program is not for you. You understand, guys? Otherwise, let me just check. Through determination, I will pursue my dream. Yes, Berita, hard work and determination is what is going to make you achieve your dream. It might not be in UK, it might be in Canada, because Canada is currently hiring caregivers. It might be in the Republic of Ireland, because the Republic of Ireland is hiring caregivers. It might be in Denmark, because Denmark is hiring caregivers, and they've actually changed their visa rules for overseas workers. It might be in, there are so many countries which are hiring from overseas, but as long as you are determined, you just don't give up on your dreams. You keep pushing until you realize your dreams. Otherwise, guys, this is the short video that I wanted to share with you. The NHS is not hiring you from overseas. The NHS is not offering you visa sponsorship for apprenticeship programs. The NHS does not hire you without IELTS from overseas. The NHS does not hire you without qualifications from overseas. The UK VI does not take your application to give you a visa if you don't have qualifications. The UK VI requires you to have a IELTS UK VI for them to be able to grant you a visa. The UK VI also needs you to have a specific salary threshold for you to be able to be granted a visa to meet the points. Remember, if you are coming to UK, the skilled worker visa, the health and care worker visa, is a points-based visa, and you have to meet those points. And if you don't have IELTS, if you don't have qualifications, you'll not be able to get a points-based visa. That's the harsh reality on the ground. Otherwise, guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Do me a favor and like this live, and do me a favor and also share this live with those who are overseas and are willing to come and work in UK, or those who are interested in working within the NHS. Apply for any other jobs, support worker jobs with visa sponsorship, they are there. Care worker jobs with visa sponsorship, they are there. Understand? Apply to those other jobs. Apprenticeship jobs, you can go ahead and apply, but I can guarantee you, you are not going to get any job here as an apprenticeship. Understand, guys? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Okay? Bye.